evening and welcome to today's Big Talk. Tonight we take a look at the just concluded by-elections in Jigawa and Adamawa states. By-elections, though smaller in scale, often offer a barometer to check and guess the Nigeria's political climate, testing party strength, INEC credibility, and the public confidence in our democracy. Let me just give you some highlights. In Jigawa State, the All Progressive Congress (APC) retained dominance as its candidate Mukhtar Rabiu Garaki won the Baruba Garaki Federal Constituency seat with 38,449 votes. And in Oyo State, the People's Democratic Party (PDP) triumphed as Fula Oyekunle clinched the Ibadan North Federal Constituency seats with 18,404 votes, defeating APC's Adewale Olatunji, who scored 8,312 votes. The election was peaceful and witnessed low voter turnout. In Adamawa State, the APC also celebrated victory as Musa won the Ganya State constituency seat with 16,903 votes, narrowly defeating PDP's Buba Mohammed Joda, who pulled 16,794 votes. So tonight, we will be asking the questions. What do these results tell about the state of our democracy? What problems still persist in our electoral system? And what are the prospects for Nigeria as we move towards the 2027 general election? But before we do that, the way I do it on the show every day when we come, let's go check some political stories that are making waves now on social media as we bring these thoughts to you. So the first story we have says Osun 2026, Adeleke rallies mass participation in voter registration. So we've seen Governor Ademola Adeleke of Osun State has called on indigents and residents to actively participate in the continuous voter registration ahead of the August 8, 2026 governorship election. The next story. We've seen INEC CVR portal records 26,000 visits on first day. So the Independent National Electoral Commission has recorded over 26,000 visits to its continuous voter registration portal just hours after the nationwide exercise commenced today. So today INEC commenced continuous registration of voters, and we've already had 26,000 visits to that particular website. Another story. APC rejects APGA's victory in Anambra cites malpractice. The candidate of the All Progressive Congress in Anambra South senatorial election, Azuka Okwuosa, has rejected the results of the senatorial elections held in the 7 local government areas in the zone on Saturday, August 16, 2025, alleging rigging and other electoral malpractices. We take another story now. Former Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi has urged Nigerians to register and collect their permanent voter cards (PVCs) ahead of the 2027 general election. Peter Obi is stressing that the PVC is the most powerful tool to defeat bad leadership and curb electoral fraud. All right. So before we go into our discussion for tonight, let's go for a short break, and when we're back, we'll be having somebody join us from Jigawa as we look at the by-elections in Jigawa State. What are the promises and the prospects it holds for Nigeria? We'll be right back after the short break. Joining us us tonight for this discussion is Engineer Ibrahim Saad Uba, is a member of the Presidential Campaign Council and also is a former special advisor to the DG Campaign Northwest. That's talking about His Excellency Bello Matola, the Minister of State for Defense, and also Engineer Ibrahim is a national coordinator and convener of the Tinubu Continuity Project 2027. A very good evening to you, Engineer Uba. Thank you for joining us in our Abuja studio, although you're joining us via Zoom in Jigawa. How is Jigawa tonight?
Yeah, actually Jigawa is so peaceful. As you all know, Jigawa is a very nice and the most peaceful state that we always.
Jigawa is the most peaceful state in Nigeria. I don't know that statistics.
By the time that we start discussions, and maybe I can give you the reason why I say so.
All right. So, did you vote during the by-elections? How was the by-elections in Jigawa? Let's get your thoughts.
Yeah, actually, the by-elections that held on Saturday, the elections was credible, peaceful, and free and fair. Because when you come to Jigawa, you will agree with me when you see the level of how the opposition party carry out their campaign and the ruling party itself. So actually, the elections was successful, free and fair, and very credible. So when you go there, you get the history. The elections was so peaceful, and the ruling party, All Progressive Congress, win the elections with a serious margin, a margin that is undoubtable.
All right, so there are talks about the APC, your party at this moment, that it is losing momentum in the north. And there were talks that this election, especially in some states in the north, is going to be a litmus test to see if the APC is still very prominent in that part of the country. You'd like to talk us how prominent your party is, how walk us through the processes. Is your party still being accepted by people in the north?
See, you just made a statement by saying that our party is either unpopular or what. But let me.
No, I'm not saying your party is unpopular. I said people. People are saying that your party seems to be getting unpopular in the north, and as we go into the discussion, I'll bring the data.
I got you right. But what I want you to understand, without saying any much, when you look at the result for by-elections, I think it is enough for you to understand that all what you are saying, I think, is wrong. Because when you see the number of polling units we win, the State House of Assembly, the House of Representatives we win, in APC, you will agree with me that, people, and especially in the north, the Northerners, they are still with Asuwaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and they are still with the All Progressive Congress. And you will agree with me when you come to Jigawa, when you see the difference between our candidate under All Progressive Congress and the other party that is a PDP, you will see the difference is almost 25,000 votes. So actually, I think this margin is enough for you to understand that, the people, they are still with the APC, and I assured you when we reach 2027 alive, you will also more convinced that, APC is there very strong in the north.
All right, so this discussion made broader. The broader discussion is not even about the state of the APC as the party, maybe because of the candidates of the person of Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the president of Nigeria. You like to, as a stakeholder, be involved, and you are leading a team now focused on the president 2027 bid. You like to walk me through the polls of the people. What are the people saying in Jigawa at this moment concerning your showing them the campaigns have not started, so you are not campaigning, but your explanation of the policies of this present administration to them?
Yeah, actually, you see, we in Jigawa State, we are always trying to show our loyalty, especially to the president, because of his commitment on economic sector, on agriculture, on education, infrastructure, and so many things, especially in my state. when you come to my state, you will agree with me that there are so many projects that is ongoing, and it was directly under the Aswaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu administration. So in Jigawa, let me assure you that Aswaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu will get 100% support even before 2027. You will agree with me. In Jigawa, we are living peacefully in our party, and we are always ready to see that how we can be able to support Aswaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration, especially when you see the level of commitments of our governor. That is His Excellency Malam Umar Namadi, where he was always busy trying to deliver all the campaign promises, and they even add more. Because when you come to Jigawa, you will see what we mean by continuity. The governor is always trying to see that all the projects started by previous administrations, he has completed them, and he has already started his own project. So you see, in Jigawa, what we always love is continuity. We don't want a situation whereby when the previous administration started a project and then the new government come in, they abandon it. But for Malam Umar Namadi, the story actually it goes the way how Jigawa people want. He respects continuity, and he started so many uncountable projects across the state on health sector, infrastructure, education. And when you look at even the further statistics on education sector and health sector, you will agree with me when you come to Jigawa, you see the level of development so far achieved by these administrations of Malam Umar Namadi in connections with the federal government under Aswaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
All right, so also talking about permutation now, there are discussions around the Jigawa being in the northwest, and we have states like Kano, right, and Bauchi, and some commentators have spoken about the fact that it seems the politics in those other places affects the politics of Jigawa. Your candidate in the by-election won with over 38,000 votes. What does it speak to voter apathy? Can you talk about the voter turnout? Were people enthusiastic? Were people willing to come out to vote in that particular election?
Yeah, actually, you see, for those that was able to attend the campaign and the rally and even the election processes, you will agree with me that the turnout was very successful and is very good, because let me assure you, when you see the turnout from the people that are coming out happily voting APC, you will agree with me that all that noise where people are saying this and that, especially about north and possibly the northwest, you will agree with me that by the time we reach 2027, all that story, people they will agree, yes, it's just a noise making. But the turnout actually is very progressive, and the turnout is even going to be more in 2027. And you will agree with me, by the time 2027 come, you will see how the people will vote for Aswaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the All Progressive Congress as a party of their choice.
All right, so I'm still saying on that matter, there are talks about political cohesion, being able to not have a one-party system, have political parties that will have opposition, vibrant opposition. I know you are in the ruling party, but can you talk to me about the place of opposition in Jigawa? Is the space open for political actors in other political parties to feel okay to participate in processes without intimidation?
Yeah, actually, you asked a very good questions, and I wanted to assure you that if the opposition members will be fair to themselves, they will tell you that in Jigawa, we always respect the oppositions without intimidating anybody. Because when you look at the number of votes scored by PDP candidates, you will agree that yes, Jigawa, we are playing a reasonable politics whereby everybody is allowed to play or to vote or support his own choice. So, but one thing that I would like to tell you is that you can't force people to vote oppositions while they are happily living with the ruling party. So when you look at the number of votes scored by PDP candidate, he scored almost 13,000 plus votes. So I think it is from the vote he scored, it is enough for you to understand. Yeah, we allow the oppositions, we give them a fair play so that they can be able to enjoy the atmosphere of being a party member or in the opposition party. So we don't have problem with oppositions. All we know, our governor, our other elected leaders, they are doing well, and they are doing what they are voted to do. So we don't have fear of anybody being in oppositions in Jigawa, and we are not intimidating anybody. All we are saying, what we are saying is, we know our people, they are always supporting these administrations because they are enjoying the blessing of hard work of this great party, All Progressive APC, both the federal government, the state government, the senators, the rep, and the other elected officers, even the nominated, the appointed. I mean, you see, both the two sides, we are doing our best to see that we deliver and we make our promises during the campaign. So be rest assured, opposition in Jigawa, they are not intimidated, because when you go there, you will see how they carry out their campaign, how the election process is going. So it was, there is nothing like intimidating any oppositions. And when you check the number of votes scored by PDP, you will agree with me.
Vote buying, and we've seen some parties reject that election result and maybe exploring other options. Of course, it's within their rights. So let's talk about it. The processes. I asked again, you know, and when we talk about Nigerian elections, over time, I've covered election for some years, right? And I've seen vote buying in daylight, right? We have, and there are issues around thuggery, around harassment, and all of that. About people claim that they have structures in political parties. People have talked about a rigging structure in Nigeria. So I like that you talk to me as a chieftain, as somebody who's been involved in political campaigns. Did you see any intimidation of voter? Did you see thuggery? Was there harassment of any kind? That's on one side. Then on the other side, the messaging. A lot of people are complaining about the economy. There are rises in food prices, petrol prices, and other things. What message are you telling the people as a member of the APC? What is the message you are telling to people that this is why they should support your party? Nigerians want to know why they should support your party.
Yeah, actually, I heard you well. You see, let me tell you one thing. There is an issue of vote buying and intimidations or thuggery. But one thing that I would like to tell you, in Jigawa, there is nothing like vote buying, and there is nothing like intimidating. The elections, that is why I say the elections carry out successfully, peacefully. So nothing like intimidating or vote buying, because nobody will show you an evidence where he saw people from our party or any other party doing such behavior of vote buying. You see, but you see, as a politicians and as a politics, everybody he has right to complain, and it is not a new culture. It has been for long. Anyone that lose elections will start complaining all this and that, but nothing like vote buying in Jigawa. And you see, you also talk about the issue of economy, where you mention the issue of price, food price, petrol price. Let me, at this point, I wanted to remind you that you are aware of how the price of food is crashing in Nigeria, not only in the north, but for the whole country. Everybody now, the price of food drastically is very drastically decreased. So there is nothing like issue of food price for now. The only thing I think at this point we wanted to say, let Nigerians thank God, let Nigerians appreciate the level of commitment shown by these administrations on how the price of the food now is still precious. So even low-level Nigerians can be able to buy foods, and the issue of petroleum prices, or the availability of petrols in our filling stations, you will agree with me that wherever you are in Nigeria, you will see how the price or the availability of the petroleum is actually very steady. There is enough petroleum in the stations, and the price is actually decreased compared to the other administrations or of just recent administrations that passed. So the issue of
when you say the other administration, that refers to the APC government, because APC has been in power for 10 years, right? So if you say the other administration, administration of late former President Muhammadu Buhari was an APC administration.
Actually, yeah, it is an APC administrations, and let me tell you one thing. Once you get a blessing is always a blessing. You can't change the name of blessing to other narrations, because you see, these administrations, they have achieved this goal of reducing the price and the availability of the petrol in our filling stations. And let me assure you that the issue of economy, when you go through the newspapers or recent newspapers first released, you will see that even the other organizations shows or express their happiness on how our economy is growing faster. So actually, Suwaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu administrations and Governor Malam Umar Namadi Danmodio in Jigawa, they are doing well, and I will keep praying for them to do better.
All right, thank you so much. I'm still staying on the issue before, maybe we'll take 3 questions before we let you go. All right, so let's talk about the state of the politics in Jigawa. What is happening? We have the ADC now, the African Democratic Congress, a coalition that are choosing this party as the vehicle to actualize the 2027 ambition of the members of different political parties that have come together to say we want to unseat President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And we've seen people from the north like Nasir El-Rufai, former governor of Kaduna State. We've seen former Senate President David Mark leading the team as the current chairman of the ADC. As the chieftain of the APC in the north, are you threatened? Is your party threatened about the position of the ADC and the growth of the ADC?
Actually, you see, this issue of ADC, you are saying, maybe it is you, maybe journalists, you are saying it as a threat politically, but to us, who are always living in a grassroots level, ADC to us is just like a play, just like a child play.
Oh, the ADC is the child's play to you, honorable.
Yeah, it's a child play, because let me tell you one thing. The issue of ADC, you have to ask yourself. There is recent by-elections concluded in some of the states in Nigeria. When you check the results, when you see the outcome of the result, it is enough for you to understand that ADC is just a name and a group of frustrated politicians. Because you see, what I'm saying, when you come to Jigawa, there is nothing like ADC in my state, because the party doesn't even participate in the by-election. So how can you expect a party that even is not strong enough to join the race for by-elections for one single House of Representatives can be a threat to us? No, actually, you have to understand ADC is just a group of frustrated politicians, and they will not go anywhere. And when you even talk about issue of El-Rufai, Malam Nasir El-Rufai is among the founding fathers of APC. But let me tell you one thing: when you check the result of recent concluded by-election in his states, you will agree with me that it's just a noise making. As I've always said, ADC it is not a problem to us, but rather it's just a group of frustrated politicians.
Staying on the issue of the ADC, before I leave, I'd just like to mention some politicians to you, like Alhaji Ahmed Mahmood Gumel, who happens to be the state coordinator of the ADC in your state. We have Honorable Kabiru Uziani, a former state chairman, and Alhaji Sani Muhammad, and these are all people you know, and more people. Some members of the party have claimed that some persons who are with your party now, the APC, are just buying time time, that with more time, they will be joining the ADC, right? But you said you're not concerned, you're not bothered. But before I let you go, as somebody who is mobilizing for President Tinubu into the future, what are some of the steps you've taken to bring back people who may feel aggrieved in your party? What steps are the APC in Jigawa taking to make sure that people who are feeling aggrieved can be brought back to the party, so you can have a better or a fuller house?
Yeah, actually, you see, you mentioned the name of His Excellency Ahmed Mahmoud Gumal, who you just said he's the chairman of ADC in my state, or one of the leading figure in the party. But let me tell you one thing that you don't know. As he's a chairman of ADC in my state, thank God he's from Northwest, and the recent concluded election is also in the same dawn with the person you mentioned the name, that is H. Ahmed Mahmoud Gumal. So it is serious, and is truly acceptable politician in that zone. He could kindly have a candidate in the by-election so that he can show us how strong he is. But one thing that I would like to, even Alessani, you mentioned, you see all these people you have mentioned, I told you they are just group of frustrated politicians, people that lack political value, people that they don't have any influence, they don't have any impact in the political space, but they are just there bragging, trying to show that they have something or they have value to add, but they don't have any political value to add when it is issue of grassroots politics, but not just like noise making politics. So, and the issue of you are saying in Jigawa, how we are going to unite our members, or we can attract other people to support our party. As I told you in our discussions, in the first discussions, I told you that our government in Jigawa State under administrations of Mala Umar Namadi Modi, they have done what they're supposed to do, and they are doing what they're expected to do, so that our party will be strong, our party will remain victorious in the 2027 elections, because every society, what they are after from the leaders is projects, and apart from the project is respect. You see, when you have a leader who is hardworking, doing projects across all the states he is leading, one thing that society needed is respect. You can be a hardworking person without respect, people will not even look at what you are doing. But these administrations under Malam Umar Namadi, they are respecting the citizens of Jigawa State, no matter where you came from. And one thing that will agree with me, of recent, there is a program conducted by Jigawa State government under Minister of Youth and Information. Of recent, they have carried out International Youth Day program, where myself and the other top government official, we witnessed how the sitting governor spent 4 hours sitting, listening his people, watching the program. And one thing that you'll appreciate is that the governor himself appreciates some of the individuals, and they even reward them with his hands, give them award because of their outstanding excellent performance character they show. Especially, let me give you a reference. There is one recent boy that actually this a boy from one of the town in Jigawa State. The boy, yeah. The boy actually during a market day, he was able to find that 3 million cash inside a little bag. That is the reason His Excellency awarded the boy, because the boy took the money to the police stations and asked the police stations to find the owner of the money and surrender the money back to them. And at that time, immediately, just a few minutes after the boy submitted the money, the owner of the money rushed to the police stations, identified himself, and the stations gave out that money to the owner. So you see, the governor is always looking at the people who shows a good character. Yeah, actually, you see, himself, the governor of the state awarded the boy in the presence of all journalists, and it seriously
Thank
encourages
you,
the
Honorable.
citizens of the state. Yeah, so
Yeah, thank you,
you see,
Honorable.
in our state, actually, issue of party affairs or unity among our party or the citizens of the state is excellently, especially
So
when
much,
we come to
Honorable. Thank you. Thank you so much, Honorable, for your take. Engineer Ibrahim Sahad Uba, Member Presidential Campaign Council, Jigawa, former Special Advisor to and DG Campaign, His Excellency Bello Matuala, State Minister for Defense, and also the National Coordinator and Convener of the Tinubu Continuity Project 2027. Thank you so much, Engineer Ibrahim Sahad Uba, for speaking to us. I know you come to Abuja often, and one of these days when you come to Abuja, I would like to have you live in the studio, because I have so many questions to ask you about the Tinubu's continuation project. Nigerians have questions to ask you, so you can give us better explanation about what we are coming to continue. If where we are is good enough, that's explanation that can actually give us. Thank you so much, Engineer Uba, for coming on the show tonight. We really do appreciate your wealth of experience.
Thank you. I sincerely appreciate the time you give to me and the opportunity for these great discussions. And I would like to assure you that when I'm in Abuja, I will visit your studio so that we can discuss one-on-one and even answer some of the questions you reserve for me. So
thank you so much.
And in Abuja, yeah. I'll give you an alarm that I'm in Abuja and I will be in the studio.
Thank you so much for that promise. We bank on that. Alright, so let's go for a short break now, and when we return, we have our next guest for tonight's program. We'll look at the elections in Adamawa State. What happened and what are the people saying? Let's go for this break. is Big Talk, and we're taking a close look at the just concluded by-elections in Jigawa and Adamawa states. The by-elections can be smaller in scale, but it serves as a barometer to test Nigeria's political climate, testing party strength, INEC credibility, and the public confidence in our democracy. Tonight we highlight Adamawa, we highlight Jigawa State, and we were hoping to highlight Oyo State also tonight as we talk to people across all the board about some of the take of some Nigerians concerning what happened during the elections. And joining us now will be Nara, who will be joining us to help us on this discussion. What actually happened during the by-election? I don't know if we'll have him join us now so we can have the discussion. Good evening to you, Nara. Hello, good evening. Alright, so we're trying to solve that technical glitch so we can get Nara and get his observation and what he thinks about the election. Hopefully, we'll also have one of the person join us before we are done with the show. I don't know if Nara is able to join us now to talk about what happened, what was his observations during the elections, and what are the way forward as a young person. What did he see? What are the lessons he could recommend for us as a people, so we could actually move on? Because for us, it's about Nigeria, it's about moving the country forward, it's about making sure that this country gets to where it is supposed to be, a great country where we all love each other and we all do things right. I don't know if we have him now. A very good evening to you. Alright, so let's go for a short break as we get back and get around the line talking to us about what happened during the elections. This is Big Talk. Don't go nowhere. Good evening. I think we have the other on the line. Good evening to you.
Well, I'm on the way. It is raining now. That is why.
All right, so we can hear you loud and clear. So just go ahead, talk to us. What's your opinion? What did you see as somebody who was there when the elections were going on? Did we have a good voter turnout? Just give us your opinion and your views about the just concluded by-elections.
Okay, so during the election, there was a campaign during election which is provided by INEC rule and regulation. So even though on that time there was an agent whose agent of PDP was being campaigned by one of the leaders.
All right, go ahead, talk to us.
So on that time, there was making a campaign on the time that there's election. So which is prohibited by the rules and the regulation governing the INEC.
All right, so I'd like to ask, was the election free and fair? Was it credible? Were people allowed to come out and vote without harassment? In Adamawa, were people harassed? What was the situation? Did people have free access to vote their choice without intimidation?
They are not allowing people to vote the one by their own choice because of the money they are buying.
They shared money at your polling center. You saw people share money, and
they share money. They share money for buying a voting election.
Wow. All right, go ahead.
So which is changed.
Did we have law enforcement officers? What did they do about that?
So we have nothing to do. Why? Because there is some leaders, such as like House representatives, Senate only our present on that time. So we have no anything to do because they have more power.
So as a researcher, as an analyst from the north, I see all of the good work you do. As somebody who, so what does it speak to you, and what does it speak to the work you do? Are you concerned that you saw, allegedly, that you saw those kind of activities? Does it speak to the place of the young people in Nigeria? And how do you feel as a young people witnessing all of this?
So the youth are there to use people to change their rights. So we know the condition that we are now. We have there is problem of poverty in our area, so that they use that money for their own achievement.
Right.
So that there is no any harassment on that election. The election was conducted peacefully, but this is the error that we are facing. So,
I'm trying to understand. We talk about classification by money, and you are also talking about election was conducted peacefully. Before I let you go, can you help me wrap my head around those two ideas?
okay.
I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
So I don't understand. Repeat it
I'm saying that you reported to us that some people came with monies, which we know is against INEC laws, and you're also telling us that it was a credible election. So I'm saying, can you help us walk through those two ideas, because it seems conflicting?
I just was like what?
I'm saying that in an election that you've alleged that there were monies being passed, and it seems you're saying it was credible. So I'm trying to understand. Was it? I think the question should be: was the election credible?
No.
All right, so thank you so much, Nara. I know you are traveling and there's rain. I wish you all of the best. Thank you. We see all of the good work you do around helping young people make better decisions. We wish you all of the best. Thank you so much for talking to us tonight. Thank you, and we wish you a safe journey to where you're going to.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right, so we had Nara, who is actually a researcher, join us to give us thoughts about one of the things that happened in Adamawa, and he said allegedly that some monies were passed during the election. It was the election was dollarized, like some people will say, nairaized. Monies were passed, and right, that's one of the observations a young person is made during the election. Let's go for a short break and see if we can get to one other person that will talk to us tonight. Finally, on the final notes as we round up the program tonight. right, so still looking at what happened during the by-elections, the last person that will be talking to us tonight is Isa Abdullahi. He's the Director of Media and Publicity Campaign for one of the aspirants, Honorable Bashir Usman Waziri of the ADC. I don't know if we have Isa now with us. Good evening, Isa. Hello, good evening to you, Isa. Okay, so we're trying to see, I think the network is playing a prank on us. Let's see if we can have Isa with us in no time. Hello, Isa, are you there? Okay, so the network is giving us some issues. He was supposed to be the last person to talk to us about the state of the elections. All right, so let's still see if we can have him one more time. And as we go through some of the things that we've said, reports mentioned that we had a low voter turnout, particularly in Oyo, and they've also been concerned about vote buying. And we saw one of the people that we call on the show today talk to us about vote buying as being an issue during the elections, as some persons were so talk about people buying votes and voting when it was against their will. And these are issues that we keep talking about in the country. When are we going to have an electioneering system where we're able to move forward, when we are able to, do the right things without fear or favor, and we just keep doing the right thing? I think we can have Isa can join us as a result of technical issues, and maybe subsequently on the subsequent programs we'll try to bring him and have his opinion on what actually happened during the elections. All right, like we say from observation, the biggest problems we have in Nigeria could be logistics, could be apathy or credibility issues. But this all boils down to the fact that we must make this country work. We have to work to make sure that Nigeria remains moving forward. Despite the challenges that we may have as stakeholders in Nigeria, the opportunities to refine the process and actually move ahead. We could learn the lessons as we move towards 2027 and make sure that we build a country that we will all be proud of. Yes, we may make mistakes, but opportunities to learn lessons and move forward. Thank you very much, guys, and that's the size of our show for tonight. Tonight we've looked at the state of the by-elections in Jigawa, in Adamawa, and we're also supposed to look at the state of the by-election in Oyo, but we weren't able to do that because the guest that we had, wasn't able to come. But as the different political parties, the APC is saying we won the North. The PDP is asserting itself, saying yes, the Southwest. And some voters are still talking about issues of trust, turnout, and value of their votes. As Nigeria looks forward into 2027, the task remains clear: improve credibility of the elections, deepen education, and ensure that every vote counts. Every vote must count. Every ballot must truly count. That's the package that we have for you tonight on Monday Big Talk. Until next time, my name is Ubong Usoro in Abuja, and I'm saying good night.